Hi everyone, I'm Sandy, and today for Tag Tuesday, I am doing the last 10 books tagged. I was actually tagged by two different people for this one. The first one is Misa over at Books and Sushi. If you haven't checked out her channel, I've left a link down below in the description. She also has a piano channel, which I love, mainly because I have absolutely no ability to play any musical instrument. I have tried and it just did not go well. It just didn't go well. So I really like listening to her play piano. It's kind of a fun addition of not bookish content, but I really do enjoy that side. The second person who tagged me is Aaron Facer. He is a newer booktuber, and his channel last week, I believe, he was talking about Ulysses by James Joyce. I am old enough to be his mother, I believe, and I am intimidated by that book. So he's just amazing. I've also left his video down below. But to jump right into the tag questions or the prompts, I do have it over here, so I will look over here. Hopefully that's okay. Anyway, the first question is, what is the book you did not finish? Or the last book you did not finish? So for this one, I actually am selecting Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. I wanted to love this book, and I just couldn't for whatever reason. And I've seen a couple other people talk about it potentially being another stream of consciousness novel, which is one that I really struggle with. That's going to be the last one I think I put on my DNF list. I wish I would have put Rabbit is Rich on my DNF list, but no, it was Mrs. Dalloway. So, the last book that you reread. I don't reread a lot, especially after I started my channel, because I have so many books on my list that I don't have time to go back right now and reread much. So I will talk about the one book that I do want to reread because I really feel like I'm missing something, which is Beloved by Toni Morrison. So I read that one, I believe last year sometime, and I just didn't get all of the good feelings that a lot of other people have had. And I just wondered, did I read it too fast? What was I missing? So that's the one that if I were to reread one, that's one that I would pick up to do a reread. So the last book that you bought is the next prompt. And this isn't really quite the last book that I bought, which you'll see tomorrow in my upcoming video on Wednesday, which is my birthday month book haul. Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. But the one I want to talk about today is actually The Iliad by Homer. So Steve Donahue and Matthew at Mayberry Book Club are doing a read along with this month. And in my mind, I considered doing it with them, and then this is where I drew the line of overcommitting with the Iliad. Not the other three things that I'm doing, but the Iliad. But it is the last book that I bought, and it is the Robert Fitzgerald edition, which is the one they're actually reading from. I really wish I was able to do this with them, but this is where I drew the line, was the Iliad. I did buy it though, because I had plans that I might be able to do it, and it just didn't work out. So the last book you said you read but didn't, I don't really do that. If I haven't read it, I'll say I haven't read it. The one book that I had moved off of my 1001 list to my completed list, and it should go in a DNF list really, is Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace. That is a chunk of a book, and I could not get into the writing. Maybe I would look at it again later, but highly, highly, highly unlikely. But no, I typically will just say I didn't read it. I don't say I read something that I haven't actually read. So the last book you wrote in the margins. So again, I don't really write in books in the margins. I tend to use stickies like this, tabs like this to mark pages. I do love to have a digital copy that I can highlight and have the notes come up where it's easy to find, because then I can always remember the exact portion of the text that I was looking at. But I tend to do this more than anything else. There is an exception, which is a fun exception, and you'll see from this book, This is a list of hikes in the area that I live in, which is the Pacific Northwest. And as you can see, this book is beat up all to pieces because it goes with me in the car, at least on the way to hikes. And in this book, what you'll see are a number of hikes with writing and highlighting the date that I did it, who I did it with, if I've done it multiple times. In some cases, I would put the amount of time it took to do the hike. I just dropped a bunch of stuff on the floor. So you'll see here, I did it in 2010, and then I did it again with my friend Darlene. And so we have been going through this book because, again, it's a list of hikes, of course. And my goal was to try and make it through all of these. There are 70 something in here, I believe. Oh my goodness, I should have looked at that. 69. There's 69, 70 in this book, and I've completed about a third of them on this hike. And I will put some pictures up for a couple minutes. Not a couple minutes. It's not going to be a couple minutes. I will put a couple of pictures up for you right now so you can see just some of the fun hiking pictures from this area, because this is definitely the last book I wrote in. There's only one other exception, which is a cookbook, which if I get tagged in the C tag, I'll talk about that as well. But yeah, this is the last book that I actually wrote in. The last book you had signed, I don't have a single signed copy right now. If you have watched my newbie video, I hadn't been buying books. I don't usually go to author events or anything like that. And I had a large amount of digital books. So yeah, I don't have one right now that has an author signature in it. The last book you lost, it's hard to lose a digital book, thankfully, which is what I had been using over the last couple of years. I did notice recently that my copy of 1001 Arabian Nights magically had disappeared off of my bookshelf, and I'm pretty sure my husband gave it to our nephew. He is wonderful and has a love of books similar to mine, and I'm pretty sure it went to him, but it's gone, of course, and very disappointing that it's gone because it was a beautiful copy. I'm pretty sure he has it. But it does replace, or does talk about the next one was the last book you had to replace. I did replace it, but I replaced it first with this copy, which is just a Barnes & Noble paperback copy. I don't remember why I bought this particular one. It is, 1,000 pages long of a very, small text, small font in this, but it was one because it is actually on my list of 1001 books to read. So I wanted to have it because I thought if I broke this one up into chunks over time, I would do better with it. So I do have this one. But then this weekend, my husband and I went to our local Barnes & Noble, and I got a different copy of it. And so what this one is this Arabian Nights, which is also a Barnes & Noble edition. But look at that cover. Isn't that absolutely amazing? I am in love with this cover. It also has really pretty gold edges. The inside is beautiful. And then it also has just really pretty illustrations in it. What's interesting about this one is it's not every story. It's not all of them. There's actually more stories in this one than in this one, which I found really interesting. But yeah, this is the latest one that I purchased recently at the store, and it is because it is just absolutely beautiful. So the Arabian Nights is the last one. So I have two now because, I need two of the same book. Yeah, two. Okay. So the last book you had an argument over is the next prompt. I don't actually remember an argument. I think I have a difference. Maybe we might have a conversation about something. My book club in the last book that we read, I thought differently about how chaotic it was than what they thought. So little things like that, or in They Shoot Horses, Don't They? One of my friends really had a different reaction to the ending. One of my commenters had mentioned that maybe I had missed part of the point of that book, which I absolutely appreciate that comment, because I'm always thinking I'm missing something. So if someone has a different perspective, absolutely leave comments like that, because I love getting those different perspectives. But I wouldn't consider it an argument. I just say it's slight difference in how maybe we perceived the book. So yeah. And the last book you couldn't get a hold of. And this one is so frustrating to me, because it is actually the highest rated book off of my 1001 book list, and I cannot find it. I can't find it even for a large sum of money. I just can't find it anywhere. And it's so frustrating because it's the highest rated book of all the books on my list, and I cannot find it. And it is The Ballad for Georg Henig by Victor Paskov. And so, yeah, if you have any ideas on where I can get that book, please let me know, because I would like to get it and read it, because it's so highly rated and I just can't find it. And it used to be available on the retailer who shall not be named, and it was over $100, and I just couldn't pull the trigger, and now even that copy's gone. So yeah, Ballad for Georg Henig by Victor Paskov. Hopefully I'll find it at some point, because I really would like to read it. It's also only supposed to be like 120, 150 pages long, and I had trouble spending $100 for a 100-page book that I would read in, a couple of hours. So, and that is the end of the last 10 books tag. Who am I tagging? I have my little jar. It does not match my outfit today. How disappointing is that? But I am going to draw 2 out of this today. The 2 people who did tag me are in here, so if I draw them, I'll put them aside. They'll go back in this for next time. But and I also, again, haven't looked to see if any of these people have done this. So if you have, I apologize. And if you haven't, I look forward to hopefully seeing your answers. So the first one is Michael K. Vaughn. I don't know. Have you done this one, Michael? I don't know. But anyway, if you haven't, I'd love to see your answers. And then the second one is going to be Maria at MH Books. So I love her channel. I haven't seen a video from her I think in about a week and a half or so. But Maria at MH Books and Michael K. Vaughn, you are the lucky winners of the tag drawing. And if you've already done them, I apologize. And if you haven't, look forward to seeing your answers. And that is it for my Tag Tuesday. And hopefully I'm back on Wednesday with a video. So anyway, until next time, everyone, thanks. Bye.